Is anyone like, I don't know what the heck Arbonne is? Like, I've just been like, she told me about it. I definitely like to know my audience, know who I'm talking to. My name is Jessica Musselman. I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, and this is my beautiful, lovely Katie Villarreal. She will introduce herself in a second. We are, I need to say your name, maybe. Did that right? Katie Villarreal. Just real quick, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, and then Katie will tell you a little bit about her, and then we're going to tell you a lot about Arbonne. I got involved in Arbonne, what, 12 years ago? 13 years, when I was like 4. Not that young. Oh, hey. That would be nice. No, when I was in high school, my mom, this is my mother, for those who don't know us, this is Julie Pierce, my mom. And so she is my upline. Many of our in this room is upline. And so we just started using the product. I went off to college, always used it, and then I have a background in broadcast journalism. So I was a producer and a traffic reporter, and just kind of always underlying a thread in my story has been makeup and doing makeup. So I learned in high school. I was a theater nerd, and we had to learn stage makeup and the art of stage makeup and all that. And so that has kind of now transitioned into Arbonne has a makeup line, if you don't know that, but also nutrition and skincare, which we'll get into later. So you use a little bit of all of it, but obviously like the makeup has been really fun for me since that's just been part of kind of my background. And then let's see, I'm from the Woodlands, and I have a son who is almost 18 months old, which is crazy, and then a little girl due in December. So my big reason for doing Arbonne was to stay at home with them. And it's really funny, I always heard moms say you either do Arbonne to stay home with your kids or to have a reason to leave the house. And I'm kind of at that leave the house stage. He's kind of like a wild man right now, but it's great. It's awesome. So Arbonne, can kind of serve any purpose, be whatever you need it to be, which is pretty cool. So that's just a little bit about me. Katie?
Hello, guys. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I do makeup as well. I'm pretty busy. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a twin. And I have a pretty big bridal business we do hair and makeup on location and all that kind of fun stuff. So I stay pretty busy. I got introduced to Arbonne about 3 years ago, and the reason I jumped in is really I was looking for something that I could retail to my clients that was safe, that also actually worked and that was good for them. So Arbonne hit all of those points for me. Plus I get a discount, and makeup, we all know you cannot get a discount anywhere. That's just not a thing. So that was the main reason for me jumping in, and now that I have a baby, I'm like, oh, my reasons are kind of changing and transitioning and all that kind of stuff. And the beauty about Arbonne is that you can basically do when you want or don't do it when you don't want, which is awesome. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of jump in and share with you guys a little bit more about what Arbonne is, what they kind of stand for, and these are kind of the main reasons why I decided to choose this company as something that I retail to my clients and as well as use in my kit. And the other thing is obviously there's a compensation plan, which is fabulous. So we'll get into all of that.
Into numbers and all the fun stuff. So before we really get too started, I want you to just kind of think in the back of your mind, what your current situation looks like, and if it still looked like that in 5 years. Do you like the way that seems? I know for me, when I was in news, everyone was like, oh my gosh, you work in TV. And I'd be like, yeah, I get $10 an hour and I'm yelled at all the time and I'm surrounded by death and destruction. And I think there was one point I was like sitting around the news table and this like highway had just opened. It was 80 miles an hour because I worked in San Antonio, and then that new highway next to Austin anyways, was 80 miles an hour. And we were like, oh my gosh, I hope the first fatal is during my show. And we were like, oh my gosh, did I just like wish a fatal to happen? Like, I mean, but that was just your world. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm drinking way too much wine by myself. And, you know, all of this, like, I'm like excited when something bad happens because your show gets better, so you get better ratings, so then you might get a raise, you know? So it's just kind of twisted world to be living in. And I was, I don't know, 24 maybe? I don't remember, back a couple years ago. And so anyway, so I just decided I needed a change. I didn't like what my 5-year picture looked like. And then my next question too is, you know, what if you were your own boss? My boss, love her, we're still Facebook friends, I'm not sure why. But she would like yell at me, like inappropriate work environment, yelling, like it was not what I ever expected. I was like, I have a college degree in this industry and I produce you good shows, or I'm on the air and do a good job. And so she would just really get in there and yell. And I was like, I cannot be yelled at for the next 5 years. So I don't know if you're in a situation like that, but it's not very fun. And I hope you're never in one if you're not in one right now, because you decide to do Arbonne instead, because you're your own boss and it's so much more fun. You know, and what if you could improve your health? I'm sure everybody has something they would like to change, whether it's like, I have allergies, or I have 5 extra pounds, or I don't sleep well, whatever it is, you know, Arbonne has a solution for a lot of that. Yeah, absolutely. That was one of your, I'm sure you'll talk about that, but now you have, isn't her skin fabulous, folks? And it looked like that when we first met. And it's gorgeous. You know, and what if you could help others change their lives? A lot of us have a burning desire to do something bigger. You might even not have it pinpointed, like you might not know what it is, but you might have this need to do something bigger and better, and your cubicle doesn't allow you to do that, right? You're not allowed to, Mom always says, you know, she worked at a church when she was introduced to Arbonne, and like, she's doing the books, right? Like, she wasn't impacting the world. I mean, yes, I'm sure the church was very grateful that the staff got paid and that the church stayed open, but like, there's so much more we can do hands-on. And because of Arbonne, like my husband and I get to go to like a foster kid camp every summer and work hands-on and give our time and give our money and give our prayers and all of that. You know, you can just, it just allows you, a lifestyle like this can allow you to just do more. So I challenge you to think about those kind of things. Like, what would you like to do differently? You know, and maybe this could be something to allow you to function differently. So a little bit about Arbonne. We've been around for 38 years. Which is awesome, because a whole lot of companies are starting to hop on the green bandwagon, and that's great for the world. We both have babies, right? And I was watching TV, you know, a commercial came on, and Johnson & Johnson, since I'm calling them out, why not boldly call them out, finally has like reformulated. They were like, we now only have, what did they say, like 35 ingredients or something in our product, and like in the baby line. And I'm like, but it took you, and they're like, we finally don't formulate with phthalates or, you know, all of these things. They're known carcinogenics and just these known bad things. I'm like, y'all have been around forever and y'all are just now getting it. So Arbonne from the beginning, since, you know, over 38 years ago, has been doing clean and green. And that's what I love and respect about the line, because as Katie said, it works great, right? Like, especially from a makeup is just a really good visible one. Plus, it's nutrition, I guess. But like for us, you know, people come up and be like, how does your makeup not like slip off in the humid Houston weather? I don't understand. It's like, well, we don't have creepy stuff in there that makes it fall off, you know? It's good. I'll tell you about it, because my card. But we also, so we have this long, you know, history of research and development and all of that stuff. We blend the best of science and nature is kind of what it comes down to. But we still, on a business front, I know I wasn't sure what they're pretty, but I don't know where to put them. You know, we only have like 1 to 3% brand awareness. And what that means is like, you know, with the population, not a lot of people know about Arbonne yet. So if you're building a business, it's very wise, because we have all this great stuff I've already talked about, like the history and the development and the research, this long tradition of just being awesome in a nutshell. But not everybody is aware of it, because we don't pay for advertising, or we don't do all those kinds of things, you know? So it's your job. It's all word of mouth. You know, that was one of our kind of hesitations at first, or just kind of thoughts, was like, well, if it's been around for so long, the time is like, you know, 20 something years. Why haven't I heard of it? but it's because no one had shared it with you yet, right? Because you're not going to see a commercial for it or something. It's a face-to-face kind of business, which is pretty cool. And then also we're global. So, if you know someone in Canada, in the UK, Australia, Poland, New Zealand, I was thinking of Taiwan coming next, New Zealand, Taiwan, and am I forgetting someone? No? That's it, and obviously the USA. You can build a business there. You don't have to stay here in the Woodlands. We don't have a territory or anything like that, which is just pretty cool. So it's like you can, if you have a team over in Australia, you're sleeping and they're putting in orders, so you wake up with a whole lot more in your numbers, which is pretty cool. It's really neat that you can get to know people all throughout the world. Like Instagram connects you to people throughout the world. So I follow a whole bunch of like Taiwanese like wedding photographers because I'm like, one day you'll introduce me to a teammate, but it's cool. Like the way the way the world is now with social media at our fingertips, that's how we build. It's really great. A little bit about the product in case you're not too familiar. Everything is botanically based, and we don't have mineral oil, which is one of those key reasons why Arbonne makeup people, like, your makeup doesn't slip off, right? It still looks great even if you did it at 6 a.m. Mine today was 7, so it stays and it's great. And so that's really important because a lot of things, especially here in the U.S., if it's made here, have mineral oil, and it's just a nasty. Do your own research on that because it sometimes becomes my soapbox, so I will not do that right now. Everything is pH correct and hypoallergenic, which is awesome. When it comes to our nutrition line, there's absolutely no like artificial sweeteners or flavors or colors. What you see is what you get. We were at dinner and there was like a lime. Well, I needed bubble water or something to do. I was like, all I had was like a lime thing, and it was like this. I poured it out and had regular water. I was like, this is not a natural. This doesn't occur in nature. So our colors, ours are just naturally colored the way they are, because your body doesn't need that. It doesn't need artificial sweeteners. It doesn't need any of that kind of stuff. Everything is certified gluten-free, which I love because that, I personally don't need that, but I know a heck of a lot of people that do. And also non-GMO and completely kosher, which is excellent too, because there's a whole community of people that need that as well. Vegan certified and absolutely cruelty-free. You can click on PETA's website and we get like the little happy bunny logo, like when Arbonne comes up. Like we are beauty without bunnies, which is great. And then, so that leads me to no animal byproducts or products or animal testing or anything like that. And then no parabens or phthalates, which are, just not good. We don't need those. And no artificial dyes or fragrances, because that is bothersome to a lot of people. So it's nice that we don't have those in there. And all of that it's across the board. We have a banned ingredient list of over 2,000 different chemicals, ingredients, different things. And here in the US, there's just a handful, like I'm talking under 20 things that are banned by the FDA. The UK is pretty on top of their game when it comes to keeping health and wellness top notch, and they have about 1,400. And so Arbonne has really gotten down and dirty with that list and been like, no, there are 2,000 things that we're not allowing in our products, which I love.
This was one of the main things that kind of set this company apart from other companies that I was looking for. For myself, if you guys don't know, I've had extreme severe acne my whole life, and I think it just stemmed from using the wrong things and the wrong products and all that kind of stuff. That's besides the point. What she was saying, so Arbonne is based on a European standard, meaning it's going to have a lot less toxins in it and chemicals that are going to be harmful for women, because there's a lot of women in here, hormones, imbalancing of all of that, like acne issues, weird, crazy diseases that people can't explain. It's typically related to the amount of toxins that you're putting inside of your body. So you really should just be aware, and we're not here to be like, oh my God, you have to buy Arbonne because it's the best. You should, but we're saying that you should really be aware of what is going on out in the world, and look at labels and look at those things when you're purchasing products, whether it be food, hair, skin care, makeup, whatever it is. You guys should just be aware, so you guys know what you are putting on your body, because it does matter. And that's why I'm glad that I chose them. Anyways, okay, so they have nutrition. They have a whole detox program, which is fabulous, by the way. Cosmetics, like we talked about, skincare, baby care, so basically everything from like the cradle to the grave. That's what we got. Literally, if you're breathing, you're talking, you're seeing, you can use Arbonne. Everybody and anybody can use Arbonne. And that's what kind of gets me into the cool side about Arbonne, is that they have a business attached to it. So 3 things that you need to look for when you are looking for a company like this, if you're considering joining a network marketing company, or some people call it social marketing, are demands, right? So everybody wants to be healthy. Everyone thinks that it's cool to be vegan now, which, cool, yeah, it is. But we were that way from the beginning, you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, we were hipsters before it was cool to be a hipster. No one's laughing now. Okay, anyway, so what sets network marketing apart from traditional businesses? So if you guys are familiar with like, you know, big department stores, a lot of them are closing and moving to e-commerce because it's just a lot easier. You don't have to pay a salesperson. You don't have to pay a light bill. You don't have to pay all of these people in order to sell a product, right? So now everyone's on their phone. Every single one of you probably have a cell phone, a laptop, an iPad, you name it.
On your hand that tells you when people text you.
Yeah. So everything is moving towards this e-commerce, and everything is just so quick. And we want Amazon Prime. We want it tomorrow, like, right? Everyone wants it tomorrow. Okay, who here uses Amazon?
I'm really mad when it takes 2 days.
Yeah. What the heck?
I ordered this yesterday.
Yeah. So what network marketing does is it takes out, so just a visual, because I'm a visual kind of person. So you traditional retail, you got your manufacturer, your wholesaler, then you got your warehouse. It's going to sit there for quite some time. And then it goes to the sales force, right? And then it goes to the retailers and then to you. So every time it switches hands, that's more money, that's more preservatives, that's more fillers, that's more junk in your products, whatever it may be that you're purchasing. And I think shelf life, you guys. Probably somewhere between 5 to 10 years it's going to take for this process to happen from, you know, packaging to you, basically. That's a lot of crap in your products that you probably shouldn't be putting on your body, right? And that's a lot of money that they're upcharging every single time. So what we do, what network marketing does, is you go straight from the manufacturer, sometimes to the, I guess, Salesforce. We're consultants. What we do is consult and share with people what it is that we have. And that's how we don't force people to buy anything. We're like, cool, this is what we're about. If you like it, cool. If you don't, no. And then most of the time, my clients go online and they purchase their stuff and it goes directly to them, and I just get a little bit kickback for it. And it is fabulous, right? It's easy. It's awesome. Okay, so that's the main difference between network marketing and traditional retail and business. It's just a different way of doing business. It's not sketchy. It's not scammy. It's not illegal. Like, this is just a different way of doing business. And if you're not familiar with network marketing, I recommend that you sit down with somebody if you're interested in it and actually figure out what it is that network marketing is really all about, so you guys are aware. Just really educate yourselves, because there's a lot of negative connotation towards stuff like this sometimes. Probably not in this room, but there are out there. And so that's what kind of moves me into why Arbonne. Why? Because we're consumable. That means you're not going to have to constantly find new clients all the time, right? You can only buy so many purses. You can only buy so much jewelry, right? I don't want to wear the same piece of jewelry 6 times. I want new stuff. I don't even wear jewelry, so I don't know why I said that. All I wear is you're not going to be buying 10 of these. So, all right. Okay. Anyways. Oh, that was okay. Sit warm in here. Okay, so timing and trends, obviously, because we're cool little hipsters, like I said earlier. Ability to leverage your time, right? So you're going to get paid off of what your team is doing. So you pour into your team, you help your people become successful, and then in return, you're going to become successful as well, which is fabulous. You helping others.
To give you a good visual, so like Katie is on my team. There's a chickadee, Shannon, in between us. But say it's Friday night and I'm doing an Arbonne event and Shannon's doing one and Katie's doing one. Well, that's awesome, right? Because I shared Arbonne with Shannon, who shared it with Katie. So that all are in my downline. So, and then of course Katie has teams doing those things too. So like it just really just multiplies. It's just really awesome.
So as a makeup artist, like I said earlier, I'm trading time for dollars, right? So I work, I charge per service, right? So when you're doing something like this, you're able to, easiest way to explain it is like what you said. So you're not just trading time for dollars anymore. You're able to utilize your team and you get compensated on their time as well, which is awesome, right? So you're helping others. Okay, so let's get into the compensation side of it, because that's what we're talking about. There's 4 levels. We make it super duper simple to understand. There's district manager. Who's a district in here? Hey. Okay, cool. I got here in I think like 2 months or like a month and a half or something. Real simple, and I've stayed there because I have a baby and a whole other life.
It works for you.
So this is, I'm content with where I'm at, and I love it, and it's fun. So You know, Arbonne can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to make a crap ton of money, cool, do it. If you want to sit here and just have all your Arbonne paid for, cool. That's what I do. Okay, so anyway, district manager, it roughly takes what, a couple months?
I mean, one to 3 months.
Okay,
The average.
so not long. Area manager, this is where I feel like Arbonne really shows who they are as a company. So if you didn't know, Arbonne's motto is pure, safe, and beneficial. So, oh wait, I just got ahead of myself, sorry. Okay,
Well, I
area
think the
manager.
billable thing is pretty hard to do. That's the heart of the company.
Totally. So the second level is area manager, and at this level, your business becomes willable. So say you pass away, which is awful. Say you pass away, you can appoint your business to somebody else. So Arbonne's going to continue to give your paycheck and your business that you built onto somebody else that you feel like they deserve it, right?
A living legacy.
Yeah, totally. So Julie's sponsor passed away, what, 5 years ago? And they're still, Arbonne is still giving their family what she built. That's awesome, you guys. We're not just saying this stuff, it actually happens. It's really, really cool. They make around $1,000 to $4,000 a month, which is pretty good. I mean, that's some life-changing money for some people, right? It may not seem like a lot, but when you're getting that every single month, it's a lot of money. I'm like, that's a lot.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
who are our areas?
yeah, who's your area? Hey. Okay, so regional vice president. This is the cool part about Arbonne. Okay, so like I said earlier, pure, safe, and beneficial. So at this level, they give you a bonus to pay for a car of your choice, but it has to be a white Mercedes. And the reason being is, so Arbonne is pure, so white is pure, safe, because Mercedes was one of the safest cars out there at the time when they came up with this program, and the beneficial because who doesn't want a free car?
Benefits my life.
Yeah. And so they made roughly around $4,000 to $8,000 a month. That's a lot of money, you guys. That can be, you know, some people are, if you're working a corporate job, that can totally, you and then national vice president, I feel like this is kind of like gangster Renee, so I don't really
I think Goshi, our solo nation tonight. Normally we have like 3 in the room. Justin and Danielle are already in Oklahoma. We'll be there tomorrow.
So national vice president, you just get a little bit more money, so you can buy like a G-Wagon if you feel like it. And they rate on average about $21,000. So
when I started in TV, I signed a contract for $26,000 a year, if that puts anything into perspective.
Yeah.
And I had a degree in broadcast.
I worked at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you probably did the same thing at
It was
Chick-fil-A.
so sad.
But this is monthly, which is so much better.
Right.
So much better.
So on top of that, there's 4 ways you can earn some money. But if you guys really want to know about that, sit down with whoever invited you, and they can really go into details. I don't want to bore you guys with numbers. But basically, what we do is we tell people, or we encourage people to stop buying or purchasing products where they're purchasing them, switch to a better product, i.e. Arbonne, and then save a little bit of money. And then if they decide, right, and then you can earn as well. So if you ever go see a movie or you have like this fabulous steak dinner, just kidding, well, I know everything, but if you
Like a sweet potato dinner.
yeah. If you have a fabulous dinner somewhere, don't you like post about it on Instagram or like take a picture of your cute little fancy meal and like, oh my God, check out this place. You're not getting compensated for that, you guys. But with Arbonne, you are. So you're already doing this. You just don't realize that you're doing it already. That's all. I mean, Arbonne's really simple. It's a great way of doing business. And for some people, it's supplemental. Some people, this is their full-time gig. So it can be whatever you want it to be. And I think that it's very important to kind of stress that to people because, you know, we're two people.
One of the things I like to end on, also just for the guests in the room, like there have definitely been some people in my life that I've chosen not to share Arbonne with because I don't want to have to, maybe they're negative or maybe they're not fun or maybe I just, you don't get along with everybody, right? Like my point, that sounded wrong, I should have done it the other way, in a positive way. But the person who invited you here really thinks highly of you because they don't have to share this business with you, because then that means they'll work with you, right? If you choose to say yes, that means y'all are together, right? Like you're in this together. So just think about that too. Just know that it's a form of flattery that you were invited here tonight, and that they think you'd be a rock star at this, because anybody, I mean, we're all from different backgrounds, all from different walks of life, and there's a whole lot of success in this room and in this company. So, so why not you? So, thanks so much.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right. So, hey guys, my name is Julie Peters, and I am a regional vice president with Arbonne, and I've been with Arbonne for 13 years. I absolutely love it. Just as is my daughter. Still is. Still is.
Again, no,
but we always have a portion of our meeting where we choose a shining star. So someone that is just really kind of, is shining. So I'm going to ask Angela Hansen, who is a district manager of qualification, soon to be a district manager, to come up and just kind of share her story a little bit and a couple of tips for success and kind of where she's at and where she's been. And anyway, I'm super proud of Angela, so you'll hear more from her in a little bit as well during recognition, but the floor is yours.
Thank you.
You bet.
Let's see, my background. So I was in corporate for 12 years, something like that. And I'm probably going to end up on stage one day saying this, because this is just my motto. Cubicles are padded for a reason. People freaking crazy, doing the same thing every day. And for what I was doing, the writing was on the wall. I was like, I can't do this the rest of my life. I'm not helping anyone. It's just always been in my nature to help people. I really love health and wellness. And so the way I found Arbonne was my beautiful friend Sarah back there, area manager. I was looking for someone who could do spray tan, and I had never spray tan, gotten spray tan, and I was like, God, I don't want some crazy chemicals on me. So talked to Sarah. She told me about how she's kind of an ingredient nerd, which I love about that. But she was telling me how, all the products that she uses are pure, safe, beneficial. Her spray tan stuff, not necessarily from Arbonne, but also very safe to use. And I thought, great. So while she's spray tanning me, she says, oh, you're in great shape. What do you do? I'm like, well, I work for corporate. What do you do for nutrition? Well, I'm looking for a vegan. I'm looking for a vegan protein powder. It doesn't taste like crud. I use a different. So she's like, oh, I have something for you. So she gave me a sample of Arbonne protein, and I loved it because it didn't upset my stomach. I was like, oh my God, it's the first thing I've ever had. It actually tastes good, and I can blend it easy. And so I was like, nice, okay. Well, and at that point, I was getting married, like I said, and I was not taking care of my skin, y'all. I was not getting any younger, and I was literally washing my face. I think the dial soap. And my lotion was, whatever lotion I put here, went here. It just was not good. I was not getting any younger, like I said. I'll be 41 this month. And I told her, I was like, hey, do you happen to have any, like these stuff? Oh, sure, here's an 99 thing. So she gave me the sample, and she said, oh, you'll probably see notice change in like 48 hours. Like, she was absolutely right. That is all I have used from then on. And I talked to her. I ended up paying her with a check, and she ripped off the Band-Aid, 54321. She texted me after that. She's like, hey, I noticed would you be interested in hearing about the business? And so I sat down with her. I looked at the business, and I was like, wow, this totally makes sense. It's very simple to understand. There are 4 levels. It's not hard to understand. I'm not stuck with a region or territory. I can do this business anywhere I want. And you know what? It meant that I could take care of my mom, and I could leave my corporate job too. And so that's what I did. I ripped off the Band-Aid myself. I put in my resignation, and I had some very angry executives with me, but I gave them 2 months notice, which I think is a lot, right? So can't complain. I gave them plenty of notice. I left. And I never looked back, you guys. I have my personal training certification. I do what I absolutely love, which is helping people get their nutrition in check, get them healthier, get them off of meds and things like that. And in the meantime, I just take care of my mom, and she doesn't have to worry about her bills or anything. That's probably one of the main reasons why I did it, was because I'm the only kid of 4 that takes care of my mom. And plus, I wanted to make as much money as possible, and there was no way I was ever going to do that in corporate. And being a personal trainer, time is money. I only get paid so much per hour, and I only have so many hours in a day. Y'all, I've been up since 3:30 this morning because I teach a 5:15 a.m. class and a 6:15 a.m. class. I've been going nonstop. This makeup is 3:30 a.m. makeup. Right? She knows how that is. So,
Well, she doesn't
Like I
know
say,
3:30.
not 3:30. No, it stays. It works.
But I know it works. Yeah.
So it was just, it was one of those things where I can choose if I want to teach a 5:15 class. I can make that decision if I want to do that. I do tend to have a lot of energy early in the mornings. That's why I'm good at the early morning classes, and I do that. But I have chosen to just go full steam ahead with Arbonne because there is no limit. There is no drawback. I have nothing to lose, and I am as successful as how hard I want to work. So I would just say, in closing, like a couple of tips. If you choose to do this business, one, you have to be coachable, be humble, just be coachable. We can always learn something new, no matter what our age is or what our experience level is. We can always learn something new. What's the other one I was going to say? Be coachable, but also be a servant leader. Do what you say you're going to do and have some accountability. But definitely be a servant leader. Do the right thing at the right time for the right reason for your people. Someone deserves recognition, step up. Someone needs help, step up. I mean, if you have the time and maybe someone needs nutrition help, do it. I mean, we're all a team here. I know that I can call on any of my little makeup gurus in here if I need a makeup kit for an event, and I'm not a big makeup person. I mean, I'm not like skilled in that. So I'd be like, Sarah, whatever. Julie. Like, Sarah, that's your
We're standing next to each other.
Somebody's always going to help you. It's not like you are ever alone in this business. And I guess the third thing is, like I said before, you're going to be as successful as how hard you want to work. And I'm not saying like you're going to be putting in like 12, 15-hour days, but you got to put in the work if you want to get that reward. And Arbonne rewards you generously. There's no limit at all. So there you go.
Good job. Okay. All right, you guys, do you have recognition?
And the sun's on me.
Okay, I'm gonna just do it. Oh, I thought, all right, I'm just gonna do real quick my bucket of flowers. All right, so you guys, we are super excited because Robin Corbin is a VP in the Dallas area, and Robin has a whole team right here in the back of the room, which we're really excited about. Robin is planning to be here at next month's meeting, so I'm real happy. She's a sweet, sweet friend. And that's the thing, Angela alluded to that. When it's really cool, when you're in this business, you're not by yourself. Robin and I are completely sidelines. We don't benefit from each other. The more volume y'all do doesn't affect my paycheck at all. But Robin has helped me out when I've had people in the Dallas area.
She took care of me when I moved
She
to
took care
Dallas,
of
and
you.
I just started my business. I'm
That's
your
how
people
she
that she
helped
helped out.
me.
She also had a daughter. So she's awesome.
But it really is wonderful when you're able to know that, because meetings, you guys are supposed to be open in Arbonne. I mean, unless you're doing a training for your team at your home, you don't have to open it to all the Arbonne community. But we do this meeting here the first Thursday of the month so that when you guys are here and you're not in the same city that your upline is, you've got a place to come to be loved on, to be trained, to bring guests. That's the whole point of this, right? Because we are stronger together. And so anyway, I'm going to start with recognizing y'all. So Robin,
Will you stay up here because she asked us to take photos? So like when
yeah. And would you like,
I
yes, my photographer. All right, so when I call y'all Zach, come on up. Zach do I even get a red one?
Here's
orange. I'm not sure what to give him, so it was spontaneous. He gave us 6 packages. All right, so then, all right, so Holly Knowles is a brand new executive district manager. And then Maddie is an executive district manager. So I don't know how to use it, but that's mine. You get one for promoting. Okay. You get one for promoting. and then you get another one for promoting her. So guys, what we do is we used to give real flowers, but now we do these so that you can keep a vase at home if you're on our team, because that way at the end of the year you can see how many flowers do you have, because we give different ones for in-qualification, we give different ones for bonusing, and then we do the sunflowers once you've promoted or have promoted someone. So at the end of the year, you know, if you've got a whole bunch of flowers in your vase, you've probably grown a couple levels in Arbonne. If your vase is empty, you might not be working your business. So it's just, but honestly, it's a true visual so that you know what you're doing or maybe what you're not doing, and nobody's judging you because that's up to you. So anyway, all right, JC is a already district manager. And congratulations. So you guys, and that's what's so cool about this is because, like I said, Robin is in Dallas, but look at, she's got this whole team here. Well, a lot of you guys are in College Station, right? Yeah. Okay, which is super cool. And I think, okay, and something that she told me I wanted to mention, JC sponsored 13 brand new people.
That's
Wow. And JC promoted in 1 month. So we were talking to her, Katie talking about the comp plan, district manager, y'all, they did it in 1 month. And I'll tell you, you can do this business as quickly or as, you know, you can fit it into your world. But, pardon me? Or as painful. Yeah, exactly. Trust me, if you're serious about building this business, just go for it and just do it. Put the pedal to the metal if that's what you want out of it. Like Katie said, right now she's comfortable where she is, but sometimes, you know, it's like, all right, when you're ready for that next step, you've got to get uncomfortable in order to then get comfortable again, if that makes sense to you. So anyway, if y'all will like step over here and I'll have Vanna take y'all's pictures of Robin. So super excited for you guys.
She's said it like 4 times. So
And I'm gonna let you do that. And then
we used to have like in
Angela, we'll keep going. No, it's cool.
Okay, I said
busy. Thank you guys. Congratulations, y'all. I'm super excited for you guys. All right. So this is your in-qualification. Just stay up here for a sec. In-qualification for district manager, and we also have. Well, Jess has Brandy Stewart in San Antonio, and then we have Miss Eloise. They work together and they're doing a great job, but that's fine. All right, you guys. And then district manager bonus. So we've got, go to the next flowers, the little rivers for this. So we've got Diana Bollinger, Sarah Frazier, and direct to Jessica is Kelly Gates. Come on, little flower. I
already have 2 yellows.
Congratulations. All right. And then Jessica earned her area manager bonus. Yay! $400. We didn't go into all of the comp plan, but that's $400 a month that when you're an area manager, you've got the ability on top of your check to earn that. And let's see, halfway to region is Diana Bollinger. Yay! So that means, so she did way over 20,000. So she's more than halfway to the car. And she has a daughter that'll be 16 next year, and that daughter's going, Mom, get the car. Yes. Her car goes to the daughter. I'm sure y'all can.
Yeah, she's like,
and then I do want to have one more because Angela and Kelly Gates. Yay. These guys, I did a personal sponsoring challenge, and y'all, they were on it. Just with among our team, it was a personal challenge. Whoever sponsored the most people direct to them, and it was just like they were neck and neck. I mean, it was crazy. They both ended up with the same number at the end of it. So I'm super proud of 7. Yeah, so super proud of both you guys. So anyway, congratulations.
And you got all your bonuses.
Yes.
So anyway, I can take a picture of them, grab a flower, and then Kim's gonna take our picture. Except I'm not family. All right.
Y'all might have to squish.
Maybe we can do 2 of those.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the room on another team or anything? Anybody have recognition that I'm leaving out?
Cute.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure, is there no one in the room that's in qualification if you're on another team or anything? Okay. If you are, don't be afraid to speak up. So, all right, you guys. I think training with either one of y'all. Yeah.
Y'all can both be motivated.
You're both being motivated.
I'll tell you who it is if you really want to know. It's Daniela, practical.
Oh, I'm seeing practical.
What if it?
It could be practically motivated.
Yeah, we're just gonna be extra quick. So, hi, my name is Daniela Grove. I'm a regional vice president. So I have talked about this actually before, but didn't go into kind of the details. And last month, if you were here, I talked about. I was like, I'm gonna motivate you with discipline. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, most people are like, no. But I talked about daily to-dos, like things that you can do on a daily basis that will actually create a huge impact in your life and in your business. And one of the things that has been super powerful in my life has been vision. So I'm gonna take oh shoot, let me get my timer. Okay. And I'm gonna take lots of deep breaths because I can't be very long. Okay. So what is vision and what is it not? So, and I'm gonna read a lot because that's a lot of words. And so go faster. So vision is not desire. Like everybody is desiring things all the time, like every day, all the things. Desire, 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 right? So vision is the power to actually produce the things that you are desiring by harnessing the energies of creativity, enthusiasm, persistence, courage, and physical energy. And it creates a rise in just your personal energy, your vibration, how you show up in the world. And when that happens, that starts to open doors. Like crazy things happen when you actually like know where you want to go. You make a decision, you start doing things to get there. So visions affirm what we want as though we already have it. So it's not a wish list. And actually I learned recently, and it makes so much sense, that goals, I've always been a huge goal setter, but goals are often just like affirming that you don't have the thing that you need, right? But goals are good stepping stones. Like once you have your vision in place, like, you know, I want to be a regional vice president. These are the steps that you do to get there. But in little bite-sized pieces. And the more detail you have in your vision, the better. And we're already currently acquiring the visions that we have. So whatever life that we have right now, we are living out the vision that we have for our life. And so if you don't like what you have or where you're at, taking a look at your vision for your life or just your beliefs, maybe affirmations or thoughts that just kind of, you know, burn and churn in your brain over and over again, taking a look at those really will make a difference. So that leads into like, you want to assess your current vision. So whatever the current script is that you are living in, and that is created, you guys, from like, by the time we turn 5, we have like our personality is kind of like in place. And I have 3 toddlers, and so there's not a lot of reasoning going on there. So to like have that much control over your future life, like that's crazy. But then we believe and we like follow those thoughts and those patterns throughout our entire life unless we become aware and we start making changes, right? And we challenge them. The other thing, one of the things, so Mach 2, I've read this book up here before by Richard Blissbrook. But he also talks about how we let so many other people speak into our truth and we follow what they tell us. Like if our dad said, you're never going to amount to anything, or our mom was super perfectionistic. This may or may not be true in my life. But, then you kind of take that on and you don't challenge it, you just start to believe that as truth for your life, and then you live out your life in a way that is in accordance with those beliefs. But the brain is so amazing. Like we barely know anything about the brain, but what we do know and what we are learning is that it's super malleable and you can change it. But it's through like repetition is super important. So you want to start out by just assessing, you know, your beliefs, core values, things like that, to see where you're at and where you need to go. The next thing, foundations for a new vision. So you want to create like screenplay, which I think is a really cool way, like a new movie running through your mind. That can get you to where you want to go. And honestly, a lot of people don't really know where they want to go. So this is where you can start. So you want to find like your core values, like what is most important. And a good way to find those is to look at how you're spending your time and your money. Like how are you spending your most precious resources? And those are going to be your values. If you don't like them, you don't like where you're spending your time and money, then you can change that too, right? Discover your gifts. This is a fun one to just ask other people that are around you, because oftentimes, again, we have a very false perception of who we are and how we show up in the world. I personally tend to be more negative on myself and like beat myself up more. But then if I ask my husband, he's like, oh, you're great at this or that. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so it's good to ask other people. I know this next one is kind of like, but your life purpose. And it doesn't have to be something like, curing cancer. It can just be, like I'm really great at encouraging other people, or speaking life over other people, or or raising hopefully good kids. Like to be determined. Ask me in like 20 years. See how that turned out. But or just being a person of influence or service in your community. Like there can be a lot of things, and it can show up very differently in your life at different points. It's not that you have to know like what your purpose is, because it is ever evolving. But there is like a core way of showing up. And then just personal character traits, beliefs, and habits. You can make a list of the 10 most desired character traits that you don't have to necessarily have them right now, but what you believe you need to have in order to attain your vision. And then a good way to start making your new vision is writing out a bunch of affirmations. And then you can synthesize those. So, whatever that is, like if you have a fitness goal, it's every day, I wake up full of energy and I make amazing choices in what I put in my body and on my body, and I sweat daily, whatever it is. I mean, in Texas, it's not very hard to sweat daily, but maybe you have to be a little more specific. Which takes me to the next point, which is being super, super clear. So you have to, it has to be clear. You have to be able to feel it. Like feelings are super important when you're creating your vision. If you could actually put yourself in your vision, you can see yourself showing up in the world that way. You can see yourself having the house that you have, in your mind, like however many bedrooms, however many kids, who's living there, how many animals, like what color is on the walls, what artwork. Like the more descriptive you get and the more clear you get with what you desire, the more you're able to feel it. When you have to also believe that you deserve it. And again, repetition, so I love this quote here. A vividly imagined experience has the same programming quality and impact on your brain as an actual real experience. So our brain is so powerful, and just by creating this vision and seeing it on repeat, it can happen, which is so cool. Let's see. Feelings are key. I already said that. So you are wanting to find like that underlying feeling that you're seeking. So, sometimes you're like, I just want more money. No, not really. Like, what is it that money is going to? I mean, yes, you want more money, but do you want more money to serve other people? Do you want more money because you want to travel and have different experiences with your family, or create different adventures for your kids? Or, there's underlying reasons. It's not just the money. And so getting to that point is super important. And in creating this vision, you want to also, I talk about describing your environment, describe exactly what is happening. He talks about like picking songs like that are powerful for you, like Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror just does it for me. Like, take your responsibility. And even like movie clips, you can make an actual movie, like technology. There are apps. I meant to write down the one that I heard, but I But there are apps that you can use to just easily put images in that you, like if you want to sail around the world, find a sailboat that you want to, sail on. If you want a house in the mountains, what does that house look like? What is the view when you're sitting on the deck, looking out, having your morning, detox tea? Like what does that look like? I have 1 minute. Okay, so. And describe the dialogue, like who is there with you? What kind of conversations are you having? Are you lifting each other up? Are you, are you creating something else amazing? Are you talking about a trip that you're going to go to New Zealand? Just like so detailed. And it's so fun. It's like, I can create whatever I want. I love this stuff. Okay, so emotions, again, I said that's super, super important. That's what imprints your subconscious. Emotions motivate us. Because we can stand up here and I can try and motivate you for like 10 minutes, but truly you can only motivate yourself. Like nobody else is going to be with you all the time. So you need to learn to motivate yourself, and this is how it's always write in first person, always write in present tense, always use language in a positive way. So you don't want to say in your vision, I don't smoke anymore, or I am losing weight, or I am paying off debts. It's like, those things are already gone. They don't exist. If you're drawing attention to it, then it just sucks you back into the other. Because the mind is also powerful in the negative. That's why you have to really, really repeat. And the sweet spot for our vision and self-motivation is just beyond boring and just short of miraculous. And he calls it sensational, which I think is a really fun word. You want to fall in love with the process. So once you see your vision, then you want to be able to see yourself also loving the steps that it's going to take to get there, right? Like, so once you've created this vision, you're going to naturally be drawn to making better choices for your health, or doing the things that you need to grow your business, or having the kinds of interactions with your spouse or your loved ones that would make it a super impactful relationship, right? But you also have, there's daily disciplines, and I talked about last month, that you're going to put in place, but you want to see yourself loving doing those. Like, I love eating vegetables. I love running in the Texas heat. I love, make it happen. I love getting up early, like there are things, that maybe that's not your standard go-to, but you know that it's good for you and you need to do it, right? And then produce your movie, like put it all together and then watch it every single day. Well, first thing when you wake up in the morning, like listening to affirmations, watch this movie, look at images, create your dream board, look at it in the morning and see yourself, feel yourself being there, okay? And then the last thing before you go to bed, because then you're gonna start dreaming about the night. And the brain is super powerful at night too. And then the key thing again, imprint, just over and over and over again. And over time, you are just going to like move towards going over your vision. So everybody go home, write your vision, which is not yet. That's just the way you want.
Yeah.
All right, quick pause between motivational ones. Let me set my timer. Also, okay. Hi everyone, I'm going to do our product training today, and I'm going to do it on our body cleanse. My name is Kelly Gates. I am a district manager with Arbonne, and I have been in it, oh gosh, I've been a consultant for forever because Julie and Jessica are old family friends, and a couple of years ago I decided to jump in with both feet and start building my business, and I built it all the way up to area, and then I stopped building it, so now I'm a district, and now I'm going to build it right up all the way to nation. For those of you who don't know, this is our new body cleanse. It just came out at GTC in April, and it's super exciting. It replaced our old 7-day body cleanse. So I'm going to start with, here's the product sheet if y'all want to come see it later. I'm going to start with that difference of why it is no longer a 7-day cleanse and why it's a body cleanse. The reason that they reformulated it is because the old 7-day cleanse was actually a stimulant-based laxative. It was still plant-based, still super gentle, still safe, but they wanted to move away from that and make it work holistically with your whole system. So it's still effective, still gentle, but now it is safe enough and gentle enough to use every single day. So they dropped the 7-day, and you can literally use it every single day of the entire year if you wanted to. So now it's just the body cleanse. In addition to changing the formula, they changed the flavor. And if you have not tried it, you're missing out. This might be one of the most delicious Arbonne products that we have. And I am a fizz stick addict. Like, I couldn't even go a day without fizz sticks. But I love the taste of this. It's lemon ginger flavored, and it literally tastes like a glass of lemonade with just a little bit of ginger in it. It's the perfect little kick. So I highly recommend trying it if you haven't. Some of the key ingredients are magnesium, and that is a key mineral studied for digestive support. Ginger, which supports normal digestion. Aloe, which is really important. That's what's soothing your digestive tract. So you're not only pushing all of this stuff out, you're actually soothing and healing your digestive tract at the same time. Glutamine, which helps support gastrointestinal health, and choline, which is really good for liver support. So how to use it. On the product sheet, I will read to you. It says, add 32 ounces of warm water to 1 packet of body cleanse. Shake vigorously to mix. Drink this mixture throughout the day. And natural ingredients, it is super natural, so they will settle at the bottom. Just swirl it up real quick before you take another sip, and you'll have no problems. It's not gritty or anything. It just settles out a little bit. On the source, it also says, since you're mixing it warm, can I cool it off? The answer is yes, just drink it still within several hours of first mixing it. So I used to mix it at night and make it warm and stick it in the fridge and drink it the next day. Apparently you're not supposed to do that. So just cool it off, stick it in the freezer, stick a bunch of ice in it, and just try and drink it within a few hours of making it the first time.
So that's supposed to be drunk like a hot tea.
It can be. It can be drunk like a hot tea. And you can mix it with our herbal detox tea to make an Arbonne Palmer. To make an Arbonne Palmer type drink. And then you're getting all the added benefits of the kidney and liver support from the detox tea, as well as all of the benefits from the body cleanse. So tip number 1. All right, another tip I have for you is do not use this if you are nursing or pregnant. Just because, and Jessica and Katie and all of you have had babies, I'm not going to attest more to this. When you're detoxing, you can detox all of those toxins right into your breast milk, and you don't want to be feeding this to your baby. So if somebody is breastfeeding or pregnant, just have them consult with their doctor before drinking it. It is a laxative, as I stated before. It's very gentle, very calming, very soothing, whatever. It's not going to like send you running to the bathroom or anything, but it is still a laxative. So if you have medication, or a client has medication that they're on, things like that, just make sure they are aware of what it is. So points of difference with this, which I think are really cool, because when I'm talking to clients about this product, usually the first thing they say to me is, I've had a horrible experience with a cleanse before, and I'm never doing one ever again. And I think that a good way to kind of counteract that, I've written like a couple of tips, so if you want to write these down, feel free. The first thing is to acknowledge what they said. Don't say, oh no, this won't do that to you. You should tell them, I'm so sorry you had that experience. Acknowledge that they had that bad experience, because then you're on their side. You're not contradicting what they said. You're agreeing with them. I'm so sorry that you had this experience. And then you can throw in a line like, I can't even imagine what that would feel like. And that lets them know that even though you've been doing Arbonne cleanses for however long, that you've never experienced anything like what they're talking about. Then the next key point is to ask them, may I tell you what makes ours unique? Because if they answer yes to this, then they have they have given you permission to continue the conversation. So you haven't taken control of the conversation. They don't feel like you're stampeding them or stepping on them. They have given you that permission to continue to tell what is unique about our product. And then I wrote down something like this to say, if they say yes, that you can tell them about it, to say something like, ours is formulated to be gentle enough for everyday use. That means no running to the bathroom, cramping, or any kind of weird dieting. Arbonne formulated our cleanse with ingredients that nourish your digestive system for gentle elimination of toxins and a holistic support of your liver, kidneys, and entire digestive tract. So it spins it in a really, well, it doesn't need to spin it, but it puts it in a really positive light and identifies why it's different than like juice cleanses and fasts that have your gut really, really upset. This one is actually nourishing your gut the whole time. So I'm going to leave this up here. It's the product knowledge sheet. All of this information is available on the source, per usual. And that's all I got.
Good job.
Great.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
So what Daniela said is
perfectly correct. Okay. There are two types of motivation. There is external motivation and internal motivation, and the external motivation doesn't work. So I'm pretty much wasting your time. Thank you very much. But I'm going to tell you how to motivate yourself. Okay. That is part of what I'm going to talk about. So I'm using a book that this is every year I read this book. Do you guys know this book?
Yes.
You do. So there are 3 reasons why people join this business. Number 1, for financial reasons. Number 2, the order doesn't matter. It's just, there are 3 reasons. Number 2 is for recognition. And number 3 is for affiliation. So the first thing that you need to know is, am I in this business for financial reasons or for other reasons? Because I'm hearing a lot of times like, I don't really need to make extra money. I don't really need to make more money. And a lot of times, if you are motivated because of financial reasons, and someone joins, you're talking with someone and they're like, I don't really need more money. And you are thinking, yes, you do. You will not sponsor someone like this. So if you want to build a team and sponsor, you need to understand and you need to have your ears open and know, number 1, why am I here? Okay. So you need to know what your point of reference is, because if you don't know that, you are going to try to put everyone in your box. And you may be successful sponsoring only the people that are here for your reason, okay? So I'm in this business for financial reasons. I started at the business, I just wanted to, I saw the MVP income and I thought that's what I want. I'm going to replace my income and I'm going to be an MVP. That's what I need. That's my reason. So the second reason, recognition, I enjoy it, but I'm not here for recognition. It doesn't drive me. So what I'm talking about right now is what drives us to act, is what drives us to pick up the phone, okay? And what drives you should be on your vision board. So you should kind of alter your vision board based on what drives you. So number 1, you have to know why you are here. So if you are here for financial reasons, it's very possible that your vision board is going to be a lot of, dollar bills or however you portray what you want. And it can be a lot of material things, but it's okay. It's okay. And your vision board may be very different from someone who is here because of recognition. They are going to have a lot of titles and a lot of flowers and roses and Tiffany's and trips, okay? And the third reason is affiliation. So I'm here because I want to be associated with a group of people like, and I'm going to try this, y'all.
Don't say y'all.
So you have to know why you are here, and every reason is great for you, and every reason is great, and it will drive you if you know that, okay, this is my reason. So why do you think you are here? What drives you? Do you know? Do you have that awareness? Do you want to share?
Well, for mine, initially it was financial because I left a corporate job to go on staff at my church. So that was a huge cut in pay. And I'm married to a musician who doesn't get paid if he doesn't sing the right bass, right? Yeah. So it started out financial, but what I find is that it often changes. Once you get that need satisfied, then especially with your team, it goes to where you're really trying to help your team satisfy what it is that they need.
Yeah.
And your point is great because just a thought with Angela, I remember, when we first met her and she was starting to train with us and stuff, Angela has a Tesla. So like if you were talking about, and you can earn a Mercedes, she's like, I like my car. So trying to tell her that the Mercedes is the whole big thing, that wasn't what spoke to her.
Yeah.
So it's real important.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work on this one. She has a BMW, and I'm like, Mercedes is just better.
It's better, but I have to pick one of those other things.
Yeah, and I would say motivation for me, part of it's money, but most of it's freedom. I work in the IT world. I work too many hours. I want to work 3 days a week. That's my
But
goal.
see, but freedom is still in the category of finances because you really don't have freedom without finances. That's just the truth, you know?
And it's the residual income. I mean, you invest in someone and then it continues to grow even after you step
And she
back.
gets it. She gets it. And that beats her BMW.
If I get a Mercedes, I'll deal with it.
Struggle through.
Just park in the driveway, it's fine. Put our button.
So that's an example of someone who is, doing it because of financial reason. Who is here for recognition? And I know a lot of moms tell me, like, I just want to get out and I just want someone to praise me for something because no one at home praises me for anything. And I get it now. Last month I really get it. No recognition at home at all. Who is here for recognition reasons? Like who has this desire that, okay, I need to be acknowledged that I'm doing something great and I serve a lot of people and I'm being successful and I'm accomplishing things. Anybody who feels like you guys, it's you?
I can relate to that.
Yeah?
Probably more with affiliation, but I think because I am a successful business or owner with a brick and mortar, and I'm successful, so that's an accomplishment. But to get praised on things that you don't necessarily get paid for right then, and it's been a mind adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's not trading time for money, and so I the tangible things aren't so much, but having the friends and the pat on the back that recognize just the small successes.
Yeah.
That because of the growth. I mean, I'm not who I am today that I was 5 years ago, and it's because of who I've associated myself with.
Yeah,
for sure.
And a lot of, if you are a person that came to this business because of financial reasons, you may not know what to do with this.
It's been a struggle.
Because
it's in my head. It's a struggle.
No, but I'm talking about if your sponsor is like, if I'm sponsoring someone who is here for recognition reasons, I'm here for financial reasons. Then I'm sorry, but for many years of my business, I really was bad with recognition. Because I didn't get that. I was like, I don't need that. So I kind of took shortcuts.
Yeah.
And then when you go to region and nation, it's going to hurt you. So you really need to know,
And as growing a team, that wasn't my first initial. And it's only, it kind of developed into that because I have grown a team that need to be, their egos,
but you will be someone that is naturally great at recognition.
Right.
For me, it's like, I need an assistant for that.
I do, but I also manicure feet. So that's a very humbling experience. And so I think that
The best.
Why didn't we know this before?
because I want to work 3 days a week and,
You'd love it,
yeah. And you can only charge so much, and I have $100 pedicure. So, it's
worth
like,
it.
yeah, but at the same time,
You don't get praised for that.
Well, and I have people on fixed incomes. I don't want to have to raise their price, and so I just think it's not perfect, but this is such a better way.
See, here we go. And the third reason is for affiliation. So who is here for affiliation? You just want to be part of this amazing group of people, your tribe, right?
My friends are still in the bar. I love my friends.
Yeah. And you know what? And people like you guys, you make the meetings. You are here every week. You are the life of the meeting. And you guys are so important as part of the team. But each one of us, we really have to know what drives us. What is the deep drive, not the external one. Because the external one, the one that, you come here, you hear something that we are talking about, and it tickles your ears for about 2 hours. You get home, by midnight, you forget about it. Is this what happens a lot of times? Yeah. So you need to know how to create your own motivation. That's the only thing that is going to make a difference for you. And that's what should be reflected on your vision board. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is, a lot of times when I start, and it's just a practical training about motivation. A lot of times when I start new people, I tell them, okay, I want you to create a vision board for the next 3 months. Where do you want to be 3 months from now? Tell me about it, so I want to hear. And then your homework is to go home, and I want you to create a small vision board for where you want to be 3 months from now. So, okay, do you want to be district? Do you want to be area? What does it mean for you? Because when you tell someone, they want to make extra money, it means nothing. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's like speaking Chinese, to them. They don't connect the dots. So until they realize why they are in this business, you don't have them yet on your team. So you need to help them as a sponsor. You need to help them find their own motivation. And a lot of times when you talk with a new person, you will find out, you will hear, like if you know financial reasons, recognition or affiliation, you will hear in what they are telling you. And you will definitely see it very clearly if you give them homework. Hey, create a small vision board 3 months from now. What does it mean for you to be a district? What does it mean for you to be an area? And then let's meet and talk about it. That's when they are going to sit down and just kind of research what it really means. For me, I wanted to, my first goal was to make $2,500 extra a month in Arbonne. And it meant that I could let go of my very big client and like troublesome client. And I thought, okay, well, if I don't have to work with them, that means I have like 20 hours extra a week. And that means freedom, but I could not define that freedom. So I had to do this on my own. What does it mean for me that I'm going to have all this time? What would I do with it? So I had to like really dig deep and just formulate this in my mind. And that's the hardest thing for new people. Or like even newer consultants. So the sooner you do this work, the better it's going to be for you, okay? So remember, financial reasons, recognition, and affiliation. And they are all very good. And they will all, each one of the reasons will drive you or will drive your team members as long as you understand what it is for you and as long as you understand what it is for each person on your team. So you can motivate them correctly. Because like, now I'm so much smarter and now I know, Caroline is here for recognition. She goes for every trip, for every piece of jewelry, every challenge, okay? And I have people that, they were not really doing much, but they showed up at every meeting for like 5 years. I had to stop meetings because we had meetings of people that just were coming, but not growing their business. So they want to be part of it, but you may have to just dig deeper with them. Like, okay, so do you love the group? What is it that, what's about us that you love? And you may have to help them kind of formulate that and help them become a driver for them. And once that happens, then you are ready to really build a business. And so in that book, and I strongly recommend that you go back to it. I go to it every year. And the last thing I'm going to say is there are 3 psychological stages of our business. And this is my last thing. And so there are 3 stages, and you cannot take a shortcut with it. So that motivation and that vision that we are talking about today, that is going to lead you from one stage to the second and to the third stage of network marketing. So the first stage, when you are a consultant, when you are district manager, especially if your background is like, if you have a professional career, you make 6-digit income, you come to this business, most people don't survive the first stage. And the first stage is called, it's not worth it. you are used to making $50 an hour or 100 hours an hour. So this looks to you like you are just playing around, not moving anywhere. And most professional people die at district manager level because they get stuck at, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing a presentation and my monthly income is $560? Like, why would I ever do this, you know? The second stage, but you have to go through this stage in order to get to the second stage. The second stage is called it's worth it. So I don't know what it's worth it stage is for you. For me, it's worth it stage was that amount, 2,500. If I can make 2,500, it's going to be worth it for me. So you really want to, I don't know where you are in your businesses, but you need to clarify it. What's the it's worth it stage for you? And you need to get there now, okay? Or if you are not there, if you feel like it's still distance away, you want to survive the it's not worth it stage. And you have to know that there are a lot of people in the second and third stage, but they never get there by a shortcut. You have to go through the first stage. So it's worth it stage can be $2,500, can be $1,000, can be $5,000. I don't know what it is for you, but you have to know what it is. And that's what your second vision board has to be about. The it's worth it stage. It's worth it. It's like, yeah, I've got a Mercedes. I don't have to work. I replace my corporate income. I replace I don't have to get up at, what time someone said?
3:30.
That's like, I go to bed at 3:30 because I can. So, and the third stage is, I'm not worth this much. And in order to get to the third stage, you have to go to the first stages. And I'm not worth this. I experienced this stage this month. In July, this was in 16 years of my Arbonne business. I was always on the side of a workaholic than the lazy person. I would always work too much. My mentor would always tell me, you work too much. You are not attractive. You work too much. So I'm not a lazy person, but now my mom passed away last month, and I did not work in July. And I got home, and I was afraid to open my web stats. So I opened my web stats just before I got on the plane, the beginning of July. And I thought, oh, well, good beginning of the month. And I had this thinking, like, I'm not working, I cannot work, I cannot think straight. I have to survive day by day. I did not work in July. I came home and I was courageous enough to open my web stats on the 30th of July, like around midnight, because I thought, oh my gosh, if I wait until July 31st, I'm just going to, it's going to be a bad day. So I would rather do it at midnight. I opened my web stats and I was like, what just happened? It was one of my biggest paychecks. I did zero. And I'm not telling you the zero. This was just my first time in Arbonne. And I just felt like, oh my gosh. I told my husband 10 times, I said, honey, you don't understand. The first time ever, I didn't do anything in my business this month. And I had one of the biggest paychecks. That is the I'm not worth it stage. So I wish you discover what drives you. And then I wish you are strong enough in this business that you go through this stage first. And then the first stage, it's not worth it to
It's worth it.
It's worth it to I'm not worth it. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap it up with Lindsay's going to do, we can do announcements and we'll do raffles.
The next meeting is next September 6th, and it's always on Thursday night. And then the Impact Tour is in Dallas, September 29th. And I don't know if you guys saw today or yesterday, that during August and September, if you register for the Impact Tour, you will, and if you order an ASVP, you will receive that adorable beanie. Did you guys all see the hat?
It's already on the way.
Yeah.
I have three today.
No way.
Super cute.
I'm so jealous.
Way.
Did you guys see it? I have it on my
It's adorable.
Just saying. But here's the thing to that. They are while supplies last. So Arbonne says they're for August and September. But I'm just saying, if they run out of
That's
them,
what I learned mine today.
it's just saying, they are while supplies last.
You have to, yeah, you have to send an order in
ASVPs and 10 meetings.
And then GTC is May 16th and 19th. We just wanted to know about that.
Yeah, for you guys that are new or that don't know or have never been to our conference, GTC is our global training conference. It's once a year. It's in Vegas, and I highly recommend it. And like Lindsay said, it's next May. Y'all, that's like 9 months away to be saving. So if money's a stretch for you, if you've got a corporate job, put your vacation request in now, so that next April you go, oh, I can't have the time off. You got 9 months to arrange the time off. And if you want to go, I mean, I'm just saying, start that process now so that you've got your time off and start putting some money aside. The awesome thing we get with Pure Pay, we are paid every Tuesday on our PC commissions, and it always goes through Friday. So whatever happens to Friday, you're paid the following Tuesday. So I always use Friday like as a close day, and y'all can take those commissions off the PCs, throw that in account to be your GTC account or something like that, you know, to be saving for it. So just think ahead, think like a business person. If you want to go on that trip, it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. We bunk up with 4 people a lot of times in a room and find lots of ways to save money. So it's well worth going. And, oh, the only other, did you have RVP? Okay, so the last thing I want to mention on announcements, area managers in the room, RVP to be is out, okay? If you're an area manager or you intend to be an area manager very soon, you have through the end of December to earn your area bonus twice, okay?
But if you earned it in July.
Yeah, you earned it in July, but Jess and Isabella both gone, you can only go one time. So if you've already gone, you technically can't earn this event again.
What is this?
RVPB. So it's the area manager master training, helping the area managers getting to region. So if you're an area, you've got between now and December to earn your area manager bonus twice. And if you do, you fly out to California, which is where our home office is. Arbonne puts you up in a hotel for 2 nights. You get a tour of the home office. You get goodies because they always gift us with things. And you get a training all day that Saturday and then a big gala dinner that night. All of that is on our website. It is amazing. You guys had a great time, I know.
I'd say half the people there have gone regional.
Exactly. So it's a very good, you've got top leaders training you. So anyway, highly, highly recommend it. So if you are area manager or you're intending to get to area and start getting to your bonus as well. So, all right, with that being said, raffle time. I'll have Lindsay pull tickets. So you guys, if your ticket is pulled, hop on up here real quick. We've got caramel fit shoes, mascara, peppermint, foot cream, purple, and tea tree oil. So if you haven't, hop on up.
Okay, ready? So it's 3351240. So last is 1240.
Me. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Pardon me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the choice between one of those 4.
Okay. It's Kelly's.
Okay, the next one is 3351226. 226. Are you shocked?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. 3351245.
Woo! Anna.
Are we looking for you back?
Okay. Caramel, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. And if you're a guest, remember we're thrilled that you were here. We're really happy that you're here, but talk to the person that brought you, and we will see you next first Thursday in September.
Right.
All right.
I did.
Yes. Yes, I did.
There we go. That's okay. Yeah, do you like it? I'm excited. I'll get it for you. Yes.
Tomorrow. Those are all kinds of fruit. Let's just get through a day. Well, no, let's do it. Even your sisters are.
I know. Well, she said one, but she also know she actually called me this morning was apologized. I think she was she was just saying,
I know.
Party back over.
Well, I'm gonna you see your progress. You do see your progress, and you can kind of write down chat. You're like, you know what? Oh my God, I got my first intentions. Or, you know, I'm going up to the and so you can up chat.
Sorry, I didn't understand
You say, I got your chat. You know,
Yeah.
it's better than, you know,